Good morning, Vietnam! Man, that's probably an old movie reference that nobody will ever get. I don't even think I've ever seen that movie. I've just seen the stupid commercials on the beginning of the VHSs that just has Robin Williams saying that, and then it moves like to other clips of other movies. I've never actually seen that movie, but I like that line. Plus, I think that movie was nominated for an Academy Award.
I actually don't know. That's a good. That would be a good thing to look up because I have no idea.
It's called Good Morning Vietnam. All right. It's a 1987. Yeah. It's a 1987 film.
Good job.
Sorry, Robin Williams. Currently on IMDb, it has a 7.2. On Metacritic, it has a. I'm just kidding.
No, we're good. We're good. Aren't you gonna tell everybody welcome to PostGrad?
No, hold on. This is more important. Welcome to PostGrad Movies?
Movies, yeah.
Welcome to PostGrad Movies. I'm your host, Cognitive Gamer. Today with us, we have a very special guest. We have Cool Guy.
Hello, Cognitive Gamer. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. I mean, we've had plenty of podcasts where I keep talking about we're having you on the show, and we finally get the chance of you actually being on the show.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
Are your arms tired?
From
flying all the way over to Philly. Just kidding.
That was such a bad joke. I mean, even with the delivery and all that was awful.
So anyway, no, this is the normal podcast.
Well, this is what, our 23rd episode? 24th?
Yeah, we can finally buy a car. No, we can drink.
We're almost legal enough to be able to rent a car.
Right, and we're almost old enough to buy our own insurance. We're really just becoming an adult in our age of our podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're still not popular. What gives, people?
Actually, no. Fun fact, we are. It's funny because when we were doing the live stream thing that we did for the Oscars, it was funny because more people than I thought would showed up. We had at one point we had 7 people, right, at the same time.
We also thought that there would literally be no people there. So
that's true.
I think
our expectations were really low. Yes. But it was really funny because one of the people that was there asked us about, getting hearership or whatever for the podcast. And he said, "Oh, wait a second, you guys get more than just your friends." And we were like, "Yeah." And it was funny because the day after that, on Sunday, there were 10 or more downloads. That means linked up through iTunes or whatever for our podcast, which was really weird because usually we get a giant spike as soon as we post it for the next 2-3 days or something. But I've never seen the spike go back up, which was really, really crazy. But yeah, I mean, we get a good solid 50 downloads every single time, and we have no idea where those people are.
We would like to say thank you. That's really the point of this.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting.
Definitely.
You haven't really been supporting. I mean, you've been listening. Thank you for listening.
It's been an interesting endeavor.
You should write into us. You should subscribe. You should give us money.
What?
Take us to a nice dinner, perhaps.
That's him.
Spoon us a little bit.
I don't need any of that.
I need all of that. I'm very high maintenance.
Oh yeah. Trust me, your girlfriend, and I. That is weird. Have discussed this in depth.
I don't know if I like that. Where all of this is going.
Oh my god. But yeah, no. We definitely have you guys to thank because on Podomatic, every single time that we post something, we crack the top 100 podcasts in TV and film, which is fantastic. So thank you all very much. And we hope to keep on serving you for a longer period of time. And with that out of the way, how was your week, Cognitive Gamer?
Midterms.
That's it? Did it kill you, or did you do well?
I did. I think I did really well. I mean, it was a 3.5-hour stats test.
That's gross.
Yeah, so that was pretty long, but I think I did pretty good. It was mostly just go on the computer and do stats. So,
well,
and I'm generally okay at that.
As long as the computer basically does it for you.
Well, yeah, it's not like I had to do any actual math. I just had to know what I'm doing and read the the outputs correctly, and
Right.
yeah, cover my bases. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What else did I do this week? Played a lot of League. Um, this silence sums up my week pretty well. Yeah, that's really about it. I'm starting to go to the gym again, so that's cool. I don't know. I don't have any fun or interesting stories that happened to me this weekend. It has been like the most boring week.
Well, I mean, considering the fact you had a midterm, I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I just kind of like I had a party the other week.
oh,
That was fun.
really?
Yeah, so let me talk about that.
Okay.
So my landlord's out of town.
So you trashed his house.
No, we had like a poker get together. So we played some poker, and then it turned into like a pseudo strip poker.
How many dudes were there? Dudes to girl ratio.
There was like 2 girls to like 6 dudes.
Good job on that one. You guys called it.
Well, it's not like we got very far anyway, because I think the most like clothes somebody took off was like their sweater and their socks, and then we decided to do other things. I
Pussies.
know. I know. I remember in undergrad we'd play strip everything, and there would be at least like 3 people naked. But no, it just felt like we were too old for it. So
You remember that one time when
I think we talked about this already.
no, when we were playing Strip Smash
Oh.
and I lost one of the games and everyone was like, "Yeah, yeah, he has to take off clothes, yeah." And I took off my pants and everyone was like, "Oh, what? He always does that though. That's not even fair."
I was more disturbed that you took off your pants instead of your socks.
Dude, no pants is what am I not wearing right now? Tell me. Just guess.
A hazard suit,
So we're gonna keep going. Keep going with your
some
party.
aviator goggles,
Keep going with
a
your
World
party.
War II replica Nazi Germany helmet. You're not wearing pants, probably.
Yeah,
So,
that's the one that I was going for, not literally the entire universe of clothing that I'm not wearing now. Anyway, go on with your party.
it was fun. We drank a lot. I didn't drink a lot. I was DD. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like one of my friends got us free cheesesteaks.
Oh, that's funny, Philly cheesesteak, and you're really close to Philly.
I'm in Philly.
Oh, you're in Philly.
I'm
You're
in.
in Philly, so it's a Philly cheesesteak in Philly.
Yeah, it's like how you should eat Philly
Was
cheesesteaks.
it good?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when I ate it. So
Everything's more delicious after midnight.
eat great, even late.
Wow.
Stuffy face.
Wow.
Can anybody just admit when somebody has a slogan like "It's time for fourth meal at 2 o'clock in the morning"? They're just expecting you to be drunk or on drugs.
That's true.
Like,
It's
who are they trying to kid? Who is Taco Bell or Wendy's to kid here? When they say "eat great, even late," they mean when you're drunk as hell.
yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they can't just say that. Why can't talk? Truth in advertising. Taco Bell should just have a commercial where it just has like Cheech and Chong, blowing up a bong and then being like, "Yo, man, I really want a taco," and then they fail a drug test and can't work. So truth in advertising. Um, where the hell was I going with this?
Wow. You had a Philly cheesesteak in your party. That's where we started with this.
It's one of those mornings, man. It's one of those mornings. So I had a Philly cheesesteak at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I took some peeps home. Really about it. Somebody peed on the couch. It's good stuff. It's not a party until somebody ruins a part of your
A
furniture.
part of your furniture.
No, we cleaned it. Everything's good. Everything is grand. Yeah. What else did I do this week? I played a lot of games. Played some League of Legends. Still kicking ass at that. I'm actually playing with a friend of ours from the hall.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. He's really, really good at it. And I'm okay at it. But my friends are terrible. So,
Wait, really?
oh my god. Cynic is the worst at League. No, it just he gets discouraged, and then when he gets discouraged, he just runs straight at turrets and dies. So, like, he has to be in the mood, you know?
Right.
Which I guess anybody, they can apply to anybody, but if you're not in the mood to play League, you should not be playing League, like, bottom line.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's like a sport. It's like playing volleyball, you know? If you're not in the mood to play volleyball, don't play volleyball. Because you're just going to suck.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Uh, Covered the non-naked people. I covered cheesesteaks. I don't know. I should really pay attention to my life more.
You're just kind of taking it day by day, and then the thing with the biggest stimulus is the only thing that happened that day.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I didn't even pay attention to, like, funny things that happened around me. Like, really, this week has been me locked up in my room studying, which is really sad.
Well, I mean, it's reasonable though, so.
Yeah, yeah. That's the true lesson we learned from being a graduate or in grad school. You have to be in your room and study a lot, or the library and study a lot.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. That's true.
How was your week? I bet you were outside a lot more than me.
Yeah, I was outside a decent amount of time. What was
Did
it?
you choke out any birds? Did you find the parrots and then choke them out?
Nope, we did not. Though I won
Ooh?
a
Uh?
uh, Back to the Future trilogy.
Why?
Yeah, did you see that video with the hoverboards?
No?
You didn't see that video?
No!
So there was a video that went viral, which was using Doc, the actor from Back to the Future, and he was saying hoverboards are real, and it was a video of a ton of celebrities on hoverboards, and they were floating around and like lifting off the ground and stuff like that. And the Doc was saying that it was real, blah blah blah, and all that fun stuff, and they were all endorsing it and they were signing the hoverboards and stuff, and there was a website and everything for the hoverboards and blah 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 blah, and everybody was like, oh my god, hoverboards were invented, blah 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 blah. And I someone posted it on Facebook, and I went up to that and I was like, it's not real. I'm willing to bet you this is not real because this is not possible. And one of the people said, "Oh, come on, one of the people that was on that video was an investor and he said he was investing. Why would he invest if it's not real?" And I'm like, "It's not real. I can guarantee you this is not real." And he was like, "Fine, I'll bet you." And then like in the beginning it started off as a $50 bet, and then it changed to he said, "Man, I really want a hoverboard." And I was like, "Fine." He said, "It's $500 though." And I was like, "Fine. If it's real, I'll buy you a hoverboard. If it's not, you give me $500 cash." And he was like, that $500 is a lot of money. So then I was like, fine, how about a Back to the Future trilogy? Whoever wins gets the Back to the Future trilogy. And we worked out the terms in the comments section. And 3 days later, today, was when they said that it was a fake. It was Funny or Die. So basically, it was fake, and I won a trilogy from him.
I bet you never get that trilogy.
I will. I will. Mark my words, I will get that trilogy. But anyway, it was very well done, but some of the special effects were teensy bit shoddy, the way that they did them, so I was able to tell the difference.
Also, hoverboards aren't real.
Hey, you never know. I mean, the way that they were describing it was really general, so
It's a board that hovers.
no,
I mean, really, the name describes the product pretty well.
But yeah, anyway, I won a trilogy, and also when I was visiting the university to do a lot of stuff or whatnot for my acceptance, I was taking the metro rail thingy train, and
Puerto Rico has public transport.
yes, we do. I mean, well, the metro rail is relatively new. Usually, you have to take the really long coaches that are pulled by 5 or 6 horses, but whatever.
Got it.
So basically, I was in the train station, and all of a sudden people started going like, "Oh my god, what's that? Oh my god." And they were looking at the ground at a little like a black spot on the ground. And I walked over to it, and it was a bat.
Whoa.
It was legitimately like a tiny little bat on the ground. Well, not tiny little bat. It was about the size of my palm, so I'd say it was maybe like 5 inches long or so. And they were all like, "Oh god." And I went over to it. I was like, "Oh, it's a bat." And I talk to one of the police officers, and I was like, "Can I take the bat and like go behind where it says "Do not enter" and hide him somewhere back there so no one kills him?" And the guy was like, "Sure, whatever." So I picked up this tiny, adorable bat and I walked it all the way over to save it. I mean, it's not as interesting a story, but it was cool. I didn't expect to find a bat in the middle of an underground train station.
Maybe Batman was around.
Sigh.
And instead of using batarangs made out of metal, he used real bats. And that's why it was just sitting there.
That just I'm imagining it and it just seems so sad. Just and throwing a bat back going like and just smacking you in the face and landing on the ground like it was just awful.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, anyway. But yeah, that was basically what I did with my week. And also
Man.
we came with the PostGrad games now with the new and improved PostGrad games, and it looks awesome. So you should go
It does look awesome. PostGrad Games looks awesome now. Thank you so much for the renovations. The new sections are up. We're going to be rolling those out. Do you like science? Then you should check out SciPlay, where I play video games to talk about science.
You really like saying that, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'll sometimes be in like the shower. You know when you're in the shower and you just think through things? And I'll be like, SciPlay, where I play. And you're just like practicing for the rest of your day.
Have you legitimately practiced saying things?
Yeah. In the shower?
For PostGrad, not
sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I actually think through the material that I vomit out. Yeah.
That's I'm just imagining you in the shower going like, SciPlay where I play. No, it's got to be louder. SciPlay where I play. No, I put the accent in the wrong place. SciPlay where I play. No, I'm a bit too excited.
That's pretty much my life. And yeah, that's my shower. Haven't you ever had like the imaginary arguments in the shower?
No, I have not. What do you?
You've never had the imaginary arguments in the shower?
What are you talking about?
What? No, this is not. No, this is a normal thing.
What is a normal thing? Go. Just explain what an argument in the shower is.
You're showering, and then in your head, you're practicing like, especially when you're angry at somebody or you're angry at something. You're like taking a shower, and that's really the time you get to think about the world and how you want to deal with it because you're in the shower and there's nothing else left to do. It's very mundane. You're left with your thoughts. So you're thinking about arguments that you want to win or situations that anger you. So you're thinking about what you're going to say, especially if somebody counters or whatever. So like if you're angry at your girlfriend, you can go in the shower and, while you're lathering yourself up. Now, when you're lathering yourself up, you're just kind of like, I bet I'm going to say this when she says that, and she's probably going to bring up this, and I'm going to counter it with this. Yeah, it's like a chess game in your mind, and you're also naked and wet.
That has legitimately never happened to me.
That's such a lie. What do you do in the shower then?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
You don't put on like music, and you're like mi corazón, mi oh, you sing Spanish.
That sounded more like a bunch of mumbles, but we'll go with Spanish on that
one. You don't like put on that music?
No, I don't. I don't put on music or anything like that. I just sort of shower. And I'm like, this is nice. This is nice.
Your life is empty.
No, it's not.
It's empty and sad.
Anyway, so yeah, that was
morning.
That was my week. And
wait, so you really don't like argue in the shower or think about something in the shower?
Well, I think about things, obviously, but
what do you think about? Like the universe? You like stare down at the drain and it starts spitting, and then it turns black and white, and you start having like this indie movie monologue about how our life is analogous to water down a drain,
I guess,
and then semen down the drain.
Not that last bit. Or I am doing movie stuff in my head. So if I've been working on something previously to that, I'll try and solve the problems that I was running into in my head, and then I get out of the shower and I'm able to fix them if I fix them in my head.
Your life is so empty.
All right, so anyway, moving on, we are doing our Oscars basically recap and I suppose commentary on what we think. And
that was a terrible introduction. That was awful. That wasn't even a segue. That wasn't even an attempt to a segue.
I can't put a picture of a Segway up and say Segway. It's not. That's not how it
Uh,
works.
you know what else we did this week? We watched the Oscars. Wasn't that great?
We did watch the Oscars, and
Yeah,
that was pretty great. I do agree. I do agree.
and we also bet each other about what movies will take home the prize, and I bet I won.
No, you did not win at all.
Damn it!
You were a good like 2 or 3 points behind me. I mean, honestly, I do attribute that to the fact that I always chose Gravity for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But hey, what can you do except
Choose Gravity.
choose Gravity, I suppose. Hey,
According to Gravity, what goes up must come down. Just remember that, cool guy.
just, what
Remember that.
what is that even supposed to be? Is it like a veiled threat? I don't.
It's not that veiled. I think I directly threatened. Threatened? I threatened you.
All right.
Threatened.
So anyway,
I think I directly threatened you.
the point is that we're going to be talking about what we think of the choices. Did we
Yeah.
think somebody else should have won? I'll be talking about
wait.
the speeches. I will be talking about the speeches, or some speeches, and yes, stuff like that, and performances too.
So did we watch anything on Netflix this week?
No, we didn't.
I finished season 1 of Dexter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've heard seasons. What is it? 1 through 4 are good. Or
Yeah,
1
1 through
through
4
3?
okay. The second to last one is also pretty okay. But this is the Netflix section, not sponsored by Netflix yet or something.
No, this is not that section because we didn't watch anything.
I watched Dexter.
We didn't watch anything for the podcast. We didn't watch a movie. That's a TV show. That doesn't count.
It's kind of like a movie.
We are not post.
Can we talk about the Lego movie again?
Because that movie TV. We're post-grad movies.
I think we talked about the Breaking Bad finale.
Well, we talked about the Breaking Bad finale because it was a giant thing, and Breaking Bad is essentially a movie. Come on.
So is Dexter, even though it's 10 years old.
No. Breaking Bad is literally a movie. Have you seen the way it's filmed? It's just like Game of Thrones is basically a movie.
Same with Dexter. Have you ever seen Dexter? You wouldn't know.
Yes, I have.
That's kind of like a movie.
No, it's
like a Lifetime original movie, but a movie.
It wouldn't be. It's not a Lifetime original movie because it does not have wife beating in it. So
it could. It easily could add that in.
It easily could. But my question is it the woman's fault for getting beat?
I'm not getting into that. All right, let's move into the Oscars.
If it is her fault, then it is totally a Lifetime movie.
What do you mean her fault?
It's like you got beat and you should be sad about that. That's basically
you're victim blaming. That's awful.
No. That's what Lifetime does. That's what I'm saying.
I know Lifetime is just kind of trash.
Lifetime is trash. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Speaking of which, I watched an episode of SVU.
I love SVU. You don't say bad things about SVU.
Wait, seriously?
I love SVU. Are you kidding me?
You really like Law? Did you watch the new one?
I haven't watched the new episodes, but I love SVU.
Man, I haven't seen it in years, and I generally like Law and Order SVU, Special Victims Unit. But this episode, I felt like the writers just kind of gave up
halfway through or something.
No, the very beginning, like the ending was nice, but the premise was so ridiculous because it was about rape. And
yeah, which most of its episodes are about.
Right. I'm not an advocate for it. I'm not saying that, but Jesus, it's about. Yeah, I know. But it was just so. What's the word? Heavy-handed. It was almost stupid in the way that it set itself up, which is essentially a stand-up comedian did like an hour-long set about rape and how it was funny, which is just so blatantly exploitive and trying to be like, this is disgusting.
Right.
Like it wasn't even good jokes. It was essentially like he would just say rape and then the audience would laugh, like no joke. Which was disgusting. Which was the point. You're trying to just to get the impression that it's disgusting, but you did it in such a manner that it was almost funny.
Where you're laughing with the comedian and you're going like, I like you, dude.
No, not like that. I was laughing at how ludicrous the situation is because there would never a comedian such as that would never be on a college campus.
True, yeah.
And it was just funny that was the premise.
Was funny.
Yeah, it was essentially SVU was trying to sue the comedian for endorsing rape.
What?
Yeah, they're trying to call him a what do you call it? Like a helper, but
An insider or something like that.
no, an accessory to the crime.
Oh, okay.
Because after his set, a girl was sexually, she wasn't, she was like sexually assaulted by a couple of people that were in the crowd, so they were trying to call him an accessory because he endorsed it.
Right.
Which I feel is no, you can't do that. I don't think.
That's iffy. Yeah.
Because like, if you were a comedian, which is obviously satire,
Yeah.
and they're just because you listen to rap music, right, which is about doing drugs and everything, that rapper is not going to get sued because
I mean,
you
they've
decide to do
tried.
drugs.
People have tried to do that before, definitely.
Yeah, but it never works. I mean, look at rock and roll; that failed pretty miserably. Video game violence does not lead to violence. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same. That's what you're trying to do, right? And I don't think SVU. I don't think that's a good case to really go against. But then he ends up actually being a sexual assaultant, the comedian. So then they arrest him.
Oh, well, that works.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, how look at that.
That's
Okay.
convenient.
Yep.
He didn't really try and hide it too much, considering the fact he had an entire set based on rape.
Yeah, you
would think he'd be a bit more subtle than that.
Not only that, he attempted to rape an individual while still in court on the charges of.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What
So
an
I'm like,
idiot.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the writers just kind of gave up a little bit, but the human drama between the lawyer was pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's the point of SVU. It's about the victims and it's about the human drama of the people involved in the cases.
Yeah, I just thought the case was kind of ludicrous.
Yeah.
Not that like rape is ludicrous. Like no, it's just the premise was just so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because like it doesn't happen in real life. It was just so heavy-handed.
Oh my god. We get it. We get it. We all know that we're not awful people on this show. Jesus, you don't have to keep on saying every second that.
But people don't. Family might listen to this.
No. If they are listening to this and they genuinely think that you think that way, there is something wrong with the way that they're thinking.
Right, I guess.
If people immediately go like me and become all defensive about that type of stuff, no, you got to learn to talk about it and you got to figure things out. It's not like we're endorsing it. Jesus Christ.
I just felt it was poorly written.
Well, yeah, but then again, you don't like things that sort of like, look at this problem, social justice in movies.
Not when it's.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I love a message in a movie.
Yeah, but
if
it's
forced in, if it's not natural,
exactly.
Yeah. Like in the episode of Dexter in the last season, he makes a thing like he's trying to break into an area. And he's like, the war on terrorism has been da 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 da, and he gives off some facts, and he was just like snip on a lock. He's like, I guess good job to us. I'm like, why does a lock to a shipyard have anything to do with terrorism? Did you just try to put a political agenda in this for no reason? Ugh. Anyway, so the Oscars happened.
Yeah, so the Oscars. Yeah, so we're going to be giving our thoughts, our critiques, who we think should have won, who actually won, talking about speeches, performances, yada, yada, yada. Also giving some fun facts, because I have some fun facts. And yeah, that's going to be pretty great. And we're going to start from the bottom all the way to the top, just like we did in our last podcast.
Right.
And
so the Lego movie swept. It was crazy. I can't believe this animated movie about blocks won so many awards. Wait, I'm time traveling. That's next year.
Did you know that the Zombievers movie you showed me?
Yes.
They made, I think the Zombievers movie, something like they started campaigning for the Oscars like 3 days before the actual Oscars, these Oscars. And they started campaigning, even though the movie's not out yet. Yeah. They started campaigning saying like, it was like a poster with the Zombiever in the front and it said, 3 days left, we got this, or something like that.
That movie is just trying way too hard to be a B movie, and I love it.
I think it's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be able to do it. No if, ands, or but. That movie is definitely gonna be able to do that. I mean,
a modern aged Sharknado that's not on sci-fi.
but it's better than Sharknado
Oh yeah, no, that's what
because
I'm
it's
saying.
all real. It's not CG. It's all really crappy, real like marionettes and puppets.
Haven't you heard of the movie Black Sheep?
No, I have not.
That was kind of like a B movie as well, about an experiment in genetic engineering turns harmless sheep into bloodthirsty killers that terrorize a sprawling a sprawling New Zealand farm.
It,
And
it
it
would
was the
be New
same
Zealand.
dealio going on here with zombievers. So
We're gonna watch Zombie versus just as soon as it comes out. It's basically the exact same thing as Sharknado, the second one, and
Ugh.
Nymphomaniac.
Oh, by the way, speaking of bad B movies that are horror, The Purge got pushed back another month.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's probably good for the production.
So what? It's coming out when?
July instead of
August,
June.
July?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, back to the Oscars.
Okay, yeah, back to the Oscars. Anyway, let's get started. Let's just dive right in.
All right. Yes, please.
So first of all, let's to make this short and sweet and to the point or whatever. Let's just lump almost all the things that Gravity won that were obvious that there's really no talking about, like best sound editing, best sound mixing, best original score, best film editing, all that type of stuff. Except best directing and best cinematography. We can talk about those a little bit. But we'll do, let's say, best original score, best film editing, best sound editing, best sound mixing, and best visual effects. We don't really need to talk about that because
No, that's pretty obvious.
it was obvious that Gravity was going to win. And congratulations, Gravity, for sweeping the Oscars. How many did it win? It won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Oscars.
I would also like to say, we called it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we called it. Yeah.
Yeah, we totally called almost all the Gravity ones. I mean, though, admittedly, the way that we were doing it was more like, I hope this one wins because that would be hilarious in some of them. So
Right.
we didn't do our best, but we definitely called almost all the Gravity ones. So that was.
But I mean, even when we first saw Gravity, we were like, "This is gonna win awards for."
This is gonna win almost all these awards. Yeah, exactly. Oh, definitely. But
we also called it with 12 Years a Slave. High five.
Yeah, we did.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but also the one thing that I do want to say is a little fun facts about the visual effects for Gravity. Mm-hmm. The people that were behind the visual effects said that if the rendering for the movie had been done on a computer with only one processor, okay? Mm-hmm. Meaning right now, I'm pretty sure that the things that you have 4 cores. So we're talking about a 1-core processor. Mm-hmm. So basically, if the rendering had been done on one of those, the render time for the whole movie, for the whole Gravity movie, okay, would have taken from about 5,000 BC. So they would have had to put the computer to render from 5,000 BC, and it would have taken 7,000 years to render.
That's incredible. So how many computers did it take then?
Well,
you'd have to take like a whole factory of computers.
Well, yeah, that's why they have what's called render farms that you send your stuff to render in, and it's basically tons of computers in a giant warehouse all stacked one on top of each other that are all linked together and each render the movie. So they help all together linked to render, and you have like 50,000 cores in one place. That's an exaggeration, but that's what you have. You have like 50,000 cores, and they're all rendering the movie at the same time, frame by frame or whatnot, and a lot of other technical stuff, and it lowers the render time down.
That's crazy.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so what would originally take 7,000 years now takes like a week.
Huh. How big was that file?
It was
sent to movie theaters.
It was probably enormous. I mean, it was obviously compressed down and whatnot a little bit. So it was probably the exact same size as most movies, but...
Like 80 gigs?
No, it was probably way more than that. It was a couple terabytes, probably.
Because most movies are about 80 gig.
I think it's going to be bigger than that, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a good fun fact for Gravity special effects. There's tons of other fun facts for Gravity special effects, but I won't get into that because that can be an entire podcast in and of itself. Anyway...
If you're interested in hearing an entire podcast about Gravity special effects. Let us know.
Yes, I love special effects. Special effects are like my thing. They're great.
Your thang wang.
My thing. All right, so anyway, let's get talking about let's start with best adapted screenplay because it's obvious. 12 Years a Slave one. That's another obvious one, I suppose.
Yeah, that screenplay's amazing.
Yeah, though, see, the thing is that 12 Years a Slave was the best adapted screenplay from a safe perspective. Like it's the safe choice. And I chose Wolf of Wall Street, and I think
that also was. See, again,
that would have, but that
Wolf of Wall Street kind of got that movie and American Hustle both got kind of swept underneath.
They got snuffed. Yeah,
yeah, they got totally snuffed,
did.
And it's kind of a shame.
Yeah,
because they're both kind of more so a Wolf of Wall Street, but they're both kind of edgy.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, they definitely are. And I was gonna say that Wolf would have been the not safe. It would have been the really sort of edgy and controversial choice. Because imagine Wolf winning a best adapted screenplay. I mean, it had so many curse words per minute. You know what I mean? And it was just all full of boobs and stuff. And that would have been written down in the actual screenplay. So it would have definitely been a somewhat controversial choice on the part of the Academy. And 12 Years a Slave was a very safe PC choice for them.
That being said, it's still a phenomenal movie and a phenomenal screenplay. So to say that it won just because it was safe is a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it won because it's safe. I'm just saying that out of all the choices, it was definitely the safest.
Right. But it was still phenomenal and deservingly so of the award. Like, you can't say it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That being said, Wolf of Wall Street, I think, also very much deserving of the award.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing is Best Original Screenplay, which Her won.
Fantastic.
I was really holding my breath because I was like, I loved American Hustle, but the script for Her.
That's like the only thing Her won, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and totally understandable.
Oh yeah, that script. I actually this week I watched Her again, and I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
One of my family members' birthday was this week, and he had not seen Her, and all that type of stuff. So I kind of wanted to see it again to see what I thought of it and all that jazz, and it was amazing. Her is definitely in one of my favorite films now, and I think the same thing that you said in the podcast when we talked about Her. I think this movie, Her, is not a movie to take a person on a date on, though I do think that Her is a movie that couples should watch and discuss afterwards.
Right, like that study I mentioned, where couples who discuss romantic movies, especially reflective to their own relationship, it strengthens their relationship. And I think Her is a perfect example of that because it's about two people who have communication issues.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think I would even go as far as saying that Her is probably the perfect movie for any relationship. You can find things in Her that reflect or that imitate aspects of your relationship, no matter who you are. Her is sort of like the universal relationship, which is so weird to think about, at least. But it totally is.
Well, yeah. Especially if you're long distance or anything like that as well. That being said, it's also a nice look into the future of, actual machines.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. It's just, God, it's so beautiful, and it speaks so many truths. And the script writing is just fantastic. It's fantastic. It really is. So I'm genuinely glad that it won Best Original Screenplay. I really am. It is totally deserving. So anyway, we can go ahead and skip Best Visual Effects, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Sound Editing. Thank you, Gravity. And we can go right into Best Animated Short, which I won because I chose Mr. Hublot.
You haven't even seen that movie.
I haven't even seen it, but I chose it because the name was cool. See, and if you would have gone with Room on the Broom because it rhymes.
I went with the horse one. The horse one was good.
I mean, you would have thought that Get a Horse would win mostly because of the Academy. It's a bunch of really old white dudes, and Disney is, I guess.
Yeah, but Disney can't win twice.
Well, I mean, usually it does. Usually it takes the best animated film and the best animated short because of the shorts that they make. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning of their films, they always have a short. So Paperman won last year along with Pixar.
Anyway,
the Disney shorts are great. But anyway, we didn't see Mr. Hublot. I chose it because it had a great name. Though honestly, from what we saw in the Academy Awards when they show all the animation and stuff, the animation for all of the other ones was beautiful. It was gorgeous, especially what was it, Possessions, which was a Japanese one. Cool. That was amazing. That animation, wow, I don't even know.
Well, just really unique art directions, right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was gorgeous. I would really like to see them, but the problem is they're just so hard to find. Unless you go to specific film festivals, you won't be able to see these films. But anyway, everyone was saying Get a Horse and Mr. Hublot won, so now I'm intrigued as to what Mr. Hublot is. But yeah,
like a robot dog.
Yeah, he was like a scientist and he had a robot dog. It was definitely interesting, so we'll see what it is. Anyway, I think we can also skip-ish best production design and best costume design, right?
Great Gatsby.
Which is the Great Gatsby. We can lump that in and say
Gatsbynator.
Yeah, that was kind of an obvious win. It was glitz and glam. It's the classic thing that wins production design and costumes. It was wonderful. I mean, it was wonderful. And they dressed all those people up accordingly like that. It's not like it was special effects, they all look like that. And they built a bunch of the sets. Large pieces of the sets were built. So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. No, it looked cool. And they coordinated the costumes with the set, which is even cooler.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, best original song. And we have Let It Go. What did you think of her performance? I watched it again on...
It was okay.
On YouTube. I actually thought it was good. It was really good.
It was good. The part where she's like yelling was kind of weird, but...
Well, yeah, because she's not in a studio. She actually has to project now.
Right.
Did you see the one that she did with, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, where it was Jimmy Fallon, The Roots, and her, and they were all doing a rendition or a cover of Let It Go with kindergarten instruments.
No, I don't think so.
It is fantastic. It was way better than I thought it would be.
Well, the Roots are great.
Yeah. No, definitely they are. And how about the fact that John Travolta called her, what was it?
Amina Manel.
No. Dazeem or something like that? Adela Dazeem. It was the weirdest thing because when I was watching it, I got really confused because I heard him say that. I heard him say the wonderful and incredibly talented Adela Dazeem or whatever the heck he said. And I thought, who the hell is it? Dazeem? And then all of a sudden she started singing and I was like, oh, it's Let It Go time. And I totally forgot about it. But
John Travolta just doesn't know how to pronounce names.
So people really picked up on that kind of thing. And as soon as he said it, 2 Twitter accounts popped up.
Oh, God.
Say that were called Adela Dazeem, spelled different ways. And I think the next day, Slate magazine came up, or they wrote an algorithm that, quote unquote, Travolta-ifies your name. So you can put your name onto this little box that they have in their page, and you can click the button and it'll Travolta-ify your name. It'll misspell it and make it something else.
Let's do it.
Type in Cognitive Gamer. Let's see what you get.
Troy Calzone.
Troy Calzone.
Colzan. Troy Calzone. Troy Calzone.
Type in cool guy.
Hold on. I want to hear him say Ibn Zambel. Wow, you fucked that up pretty hard. Adin Mosen.
Yeah, he was like, I think it was Adela Dazeem or something like that.
How do you, Adelzia Medine?
No, you actually say Dazeem. Idina Menzel. That's how you actually say her name.
Idina Menzel.
Yeah.
Cool guy. Kelsey.
Eve Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Kelsey. Okay.
Kelsey.
All right. So Mr. Calzone,
Yes,
let's
Kelsey.
let's continue.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a big flub or whatnot. But whatever. So best makeup and hairstyling, Dallas Buyers Club was obviously gonna win, but we decided to go with the crazy ones. And you went Jackass Presents and I went The Lone Ranger.
As we should, because those movies probably deserved it way more than Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why it was chosen, I suppose, because they had to do a lot of, the disease
Right.
kind of makeup and all that jazz. And the hairstyling was pretty cool or whatnot, but Jackass definitely did a great job because Jackass was meant to fool people in the real world, So
Right. And I'm sure the Academy could never, ever give any movie that has Jackass in the name an award.
that's definitely true. Yeah, definitely.
So I was probably expecting Lone Ranger to take it, but then again, why would you give a terrible movie Lone Ranger?
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, anyway, next movie is
terrible movie an award. Sorry.
next thing is the best foreign language film and the Great Beauty one, which is the one that I told you that I said you should have chosen. You would have been 1 point closer to beating me. You wouldn't have won,
Whatever.
but you would have been 1 point closer to beating me. I was
Whatever,
like,
bro.
the Great Beauty is got great reviews or whatever. Though I do think that the reason why The Hunt didn't win is because it is not a very PC issue. Again, it is not the straight choice, I suppose, the simple choice. It would have been more of a controversial decision because of what it deals with. It deals with, I suppose, child molestation from adults to a kid in kindergarten, and that is tough. And it is not on the side of the child. It is on the side of the person that was accused, which is, again, controversial. So,
Right.
but I do think that the movie speaks a lot of truths, again, and I think it's a fantastic film, but we have not seen The Great Beauty, so we don't know.
Right.
Also, we have the best documentary feature, which 20 Feet from Stardom won, which is stupid. I don't care what the movie has to say about a backup singer that couldn't make it and that was getting blah, 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 blah. I don't care if it's an underdog story. The act of killing. Hello.
Yeah, no, that movie was phenomenal, and I think it was a little bit snuffed out for something a little more Americans. Yeah,
American,
exactly.
PC.
Yep.
Ugh. It
Yeah.
just bothered me so much. It's like, oh, a backup singer that just can't make it versus the genocide of tons of people where the people that actually committed the genocide talk about it. Holy that's all I have to say.
Or, the Square, which is about the Egyptian Revolution and the entire Middle Eastern, spring going on right now.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? The Arab Spring.
Yeah.
My brain this morning. The Arab Spring, something a little more, I don't know, relevant to our daily life.
Important.
Yeah.
So important. And that, I don't know, that brings light to an enormous issue bigger than yourself, Even
Right.
freaking Dirty Wars does that. If 20 Feet from Stardom was going to win, why not make Cutie and the Boxer win? I suppose it was a bit more depressing, but come on, whatever, yo. Whatever.
Well, whatever.
And I mean, they chose more or less the same kind of movie last year, which we mentioned in the live stream, right?
Searching for Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah, that one exactly. So yeah, I mean, what was gonna happen? Freaking Academy. Anyway, we are skipping best directing, best costume design, and best cinematography since we've already talked about those. Even though the cinematography in Gravity was gorgeous, and this is the second time that a movie that is, at least at the cinematography, has relied on special effects has won, because it was the first time was last year with Life of Pi. So that was cool, and I love Life of Pi. But anyway, we are moving straight into the best animated film, which was Frozen. And honestly,
yay!
you won't get any fight from me on that one. I mean, I haven't seen Ernest and Celeste, I haven't seen The Wind Rises, and I haven't seen The Croods. But you said The Croods was going to win most haunting film, and
Just that moment where there's a character who's about to fall off a cliff, and my father going, "Oh shit!" in the middle of a movie is just worth it, in my opinion. And not only him, but another person also said it at the same time. This is a kids' movie, by the way, folks. Just
were there a ton of kids all around you?
oh yeah, it was great. When my dad goes sees a movie, he just doesn't give a crap, and he thinks he's still in his house. Like he's just like, "Oh shit, look at that! Oh man!" And I'm like, "Dad, shut up." But sometimes I just play along with him. Like when we saw Wolf of Wall Street, we were like talking to each other the whole time, and people probably hated us. It was great.
Oh my god. I would have punched you guys in the face. Oh my god.
Not the whole time.
Oh god. All right. But yeah, anyway, Despicable Me 2 was a pretty great movie, and The Wind Rises, I mean, I heard it was good, but it was not it was definitely not his best film. So Frozen, which was a fantastic movie. All right, anyway, we are moving into Best Actress in a Supporting Role, which was won by Lupita Nyong'o, which is the correct choice.
Yeah, for sure. Her everybody else in the kind of supporting roles a little bit lackluster, to say the least.
Oh yeah, definitely. Though I will take this moment to this is the actual important time for the I suppose for the speeches that they made.
Mhm.
And she said something in her speech that kind of struck me the wrong way. And
Okay.
I know that it's really stupid to go after people's speeches, but no, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Why? Because she said, basically, she alluded to the fact that because she won this award and because she is African American or Black or technically speaking Mexican Kenyan, because she is of that descent, anybody can win an Academy Award.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. You know, I'm proof that anyone can win an Academy Award or blah blah blah. That kind of thing. It was I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Yeah, but well, did she bring race strictly into it? Because I mean, people say that crap all the time, just being like, "If I can do it, you can do it."
Well, yeah, I know, but the thing is, it was implied that the reason why, you know, it's the same thing as when Obama won. You know, people started saying, "Well, anyone can be president now because an African American's president." You know, it was that type of thing,
That's gross.
and basically that rubbed me the wrong way for two reasons. Number one, it doesn't matter. I mean, it in this society, it kind of does matter what the color of your skin is, but I don't give a crap. If you had a good performance, you freaking had a good performance. It's the exact same thing with literally everything. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're homosexual. I don't care. All of these social justice things have a place because it's still a prevailing thing in our society, yes. But for me personally, I don't give a crap. If you did a good job, you freaking did a good job, regardless of who you are or where you came from. Now, thing is, she brought up the fact that anyone can do it because she did it. And the thing is, her family is rich, okay? Her family had the money to send her to Mexico for months, or I forget how long it was, years or whatever, to learn Spanish for the express purpose of learning Spanish. Her father is an enormously wealthy politician in Kenya, and she went to study acting in Yale drama school or whatnot. Okay. So basically, what she's saying is, hey guys, as long as you're rich and privileged, you can be just like me. Which is, I mean, honestly, admittedly, the entire academy is a rich, privileged circle jerk. And by privilege, I mean rich. So it's an
Well, they can be privileged in other manners as well, right? There's a lot of, if we bring in, there's a lot of males there. There's a lot of.
well, yeah, but I'm not talking about the social justice kind of privilege. I'm talking about the rich kind of privilege. All of these people are people that come from an affluent background almost the entire time, almost always. And they keep on saying, anyone can do it. But the thing is, no, they had a lot of privileges. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure that I couldn't do something like that. I could not just go into movies and be great at it because I did not have a rich background. That's not
Also because you're not that good of an actor.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Apart from the normal stuff. But
apart from the lack of talent.
But the thing is,
But you
why
didn't have the money to if you wanted to do that as a career.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't have the thing to learn. And what do you mean I'm not a good actor? My first time doing drama for forensics, I won 3rd place in Puerto Rico. Are you kidding me?
I'm just
I'm
screwing
decent.
with you.
And the person that
Yeah,
won
but you're not Academy
the
Award
person that
decent.
won 1st place is one of my friends, and she is currently in Brown studying acting. So, I was 3rd place, she was 1st, and she's in Brown studying acting.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am 2 notches below an actor, actress, actor, whatever they want to be called.
There you go. Yeah, but you're forgetting to mention that only 3 people were in the competition. So
anyway, so apart from that, yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, so what you're saying is anyone can do it as long as they have money, basically. Which,
well,
yeah,
I don't think that was the point she was trying to make.
Oh, that was totally not the point. But I was like, come on, you maybe should not have included that in your speech. I get that when you were young, you didn't want to be African American or whatnot or black, because she's not African American. I can understand that you wanted to be white and whatnot, but don't make yourself out to be some sort of poor 3rd world country person that overcame adversity. That's not how it worked.
Right.
That's not what happened. All right. Anyway, next was the best actor in a supporting role. Supporting role. We got Jared Leto.
Just keep roll.
So yeah,
throw some Limp Bizkit in there. Was it Limp Bizkit? Did they win supporting actor?
No. So Jared Leto is the one that won best supporting actor, and honestly, I don't think he should have won. People are saying Barkhad Abdi was the one that should have won from Captain Phillips, but I don't think so either. I think it should have been Michael Fassbender, but the Academy was never going to choose Michael Fassbender because bad guys don't win best supporting act. They don't. They don't win best supporting.
It also looks like Jared Leto's performance was phenomenal.
Well, it was phenomenal, but I saw Dallas Buyers Club and I saw 12 Years a Slave, and I don't think that Jared Leto, I don't know, evoked the same emotions that Michael Fassbender did. But then again, like I said, the Academy does not choose evil people for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. They don't. I think the last time that a person that was bad won the Academy Award was in Silence of the Lambs, I think. They were never going to choose him, but I really wanted them to choose him because it was amazing. His performance was amazing because you were watching that movie and you hated him. He was just pure evil. It was awful. It was, you imagine what it was like being under him as a slave driver, and it was just the worst. It was the worst.
Who else was nominated for that?
Barkhad Abdi, Bradley Cooper, who you said would win. Michael
Jonah. Which I honestly think his performance, Bradley Cooper, that was probably one of Bradley Cooper's best performances.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was. For sure it was, but it was not to the caliber of everybody else.
No, and he's young enough, quote unquote, where he will probably eventually win, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
As long as he makes good movies, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't see him stopping. So,
yeah. Though, good on Jared Leto for actually mentioning the victims of AIDS in his speech. He's always been someone that's been very conscious of social and political issues.
Well, he's a rock star.
Well, yeah. But he's really big into charity and really big into, I suppose, doing the right thing, quote unquote, or whatever you want to say. And the guy really knows what's important in his life, and he thanked all of the people, and he said that he basically dedicated his award to everyone that had lost their lives to the AIDS epidemic, and he said how big of a problem it was and all that type of stuff. So that was great. Good on you, Jared. Good on you. So yes, anyway, next is Best Actress in a Leading Role, which Cate Blanchett won.
Ugh.
Her speech was really funny, though. I liked her speech.
I didn't even listen.
It was good. She seemed like a very personable person, I suppose. But yeah, okay, let's get something out of the way. Her performance was something that it was basically spoon feeding the Academy. It was what the Academy looks for.
Right.
It was something that resonates with them. But Best Actress in a Leading Role.
Everybody says she's winning it because it was her time. Man.
I
I hate that reasoning. I
I do
really
I
do
do
hate
I
that
do
reasoning.
too. I do too. It should be based on if it was a great performance, not if you've been nominated a gajillion times, you know.
Right? Because if that's so, Leo will eventually win one.
Oh yeah, Leo.
Leo. But yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, that was mostly all the predictions were saying that it was Kate Blanchett's time. Meryl Streep's won it enough, and Amy Adams will probably be nominated again. So why not just wait again? So
Yeah, and Sandra Bullock already won, didn't she? For what was that movie?
Blindside,
Blindside. Yep.
probably.
Didn't she win? I don't remember.
I don't know.
This is back when I
I
didn't
think
pay
so.
attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really like the Academy overall, but now I'm paying more attention to it. But yeah, I don't know. And they also chose such a bad example of Sandra Bullock's acting for the clip that they.
Oh yeah, I know, right? That was like the worst clip ever.
Yeah, it was awful.
But it was also like, what other scene does not include a spoiler with her acting?
I would have honestly just shown when it goes through her actual, I don't know, her visor when
Like
she's
her
spinning.
when she's not actually talking at all
No.
and screaming,
Well. See, that's the point.
or
Of
when she's
acting.
panicking.
Yeah, the point of acting is not necessarily what you say; it's what you do. You know.
I know,
So
but usually they're low key talk like the best. They're usually speaking parts for what's the example. So maybe like when she's dying or about to die.
no, I wouldn't have chosen that. That's an enormous spoiler. But
It's an enormous spoiler that they get knocked off into space.
no, that's in the beginning of the film. You know that it's gonna be that. It's in the trailer. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly I don't know who would have won or who should have won instead of Kate Blanchett. I just don't feel the Blanchett. I don't feel the Blanchett. You know what I mean?
I got your feels. I don't.
But I don't know who should have won in her place.
Yeah.
That's the problem. All right. So anyway, moving on to best actor in a leading role, we have.
Can't believe Leo finally won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McConaughey won.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't know, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's an animated GIF floating around online where Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street, when he does the thing, someone basically edited in and tracked his hand and stuck an Oscar in his hand. And he's basically
so
going,
just beating it against his
he's
chest.
beating it against his chest, and then you get a shot of Leo going like, and kind of looking around, like trying to ignore it. And it is the funniest thing.
So
it was so well done. That's the thing. It was so well done
and timely. It was done literally after they won the award.
It was perfect. You got to give props to the person that did that because oh my god, that is so funny. That made my day. So we'll put it up when we'll put it up on the Facebook page. I'm guessing today. We'll go ahead and put it up for that because that was just so funny. And also, I would like to talk about his speech as well.
Okay.
A lot of people were doing the whole thing where they were like, me, you're just mad that he made a speech talking about God and thanking God and blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't freaking matter. You're an actor. You thank whoever affected you in your life. If it was God, great. If it was your parents, great. If it was your neighbor's dog, I don't care. That's fine. But considering the fact that Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto both won an Academy Award, and Jared Leto thanked and sent his condolences and all that to the AIDS victims, and Matthew McConaughey the entire time was going like me, and God, it was basically. I don't care that it was God. I just care the fact that he was like, yeah, I'm awesome. And I'm going to see who the person that I become is because I'm awesome. And then he was done. I was like,
Are you really surprised that Matthew McConaughey isn't kind of arrogant?
No, I'm not really that surprised. But the thing is, it's like, come on,
he rose to the tops, man. He started with pieces of crap like Failure to Launch, and here he is now in such great movies like Magic Mike.
I just, he could have at least been like, and to all of the AIDS victims, like I the movie was about AIDS and about how awful it was and how it affected this character's life, and he just snuffed them. It was awful. It's not about
It's time to shine.
Matthew McConaughey. Sigh.
Maybe you're just throwing some mud in his face.
Oh my god. Okay, let's move on to best
Does he
picture.
have to hire the Lincoln lawyer?
Oh, let's
to
move on to
defend him.
let's move on to best picture. So anyway, best picture was 12 Years a Slave.
Maybe the ghosts of girlfriends past are coming back to haunt him.
Holy crap. Ghost of Girlfriends Past. I totally forgot about that movie. Anyway, so the best picture is 12 Years a Slave, and yes, it was obvious that 12 Years a Slave should have won.
Called it.
But what do you mean called it? Well, you called it, but I chose it for the best picture.
No, I called it when the movie first came out. I'm like, this is a perfect example of how a movie should be made in every single caliber. This movie has an amazing art direction. It has amazing direction. It has cinematography. It had acting up the wazoo. This is an example of everything movie. If that makes any sense. It wasn't intuitive. It did not bring anything new to the table, but it did everything else that's been established of what a movie is and should be so well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That it should be shown to classes teaching how to make movies. Like, this is the perfect example of a brilliant movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yes,
and
you can read my review on electricfeast.com.
And it won. It won Best Picture. So, but for a second there, I was going like, Gravity, because usually whoever wins Best Directing, it tends to be coupled with the Best Picture. So usually the Best Director wins Best Picture as well.
Right.
But this year it was uncoupled. So for a second there, split second, I was like, maybe Gravity? But
or Dallas Buyers, because that also won like pretty much every acting award.
Right. So, yeah.
For
definitely
actor and
definitely
support.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it, right? I think we are done because there's not much to say about 12 Years. It was amazing, and you pretty much covered all of it. So
yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm a master.
Oh, right.
I'm like Matthew McConaughey.
Oh God. Also, we have our announcement of who won our contest. We had 4 people enter our contest? Heck yeah. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 people enter our contest.
Yeah.
And
somebody actually answered, which means, damn it, we have to buy a prize.
Yeah, so they were saying our contest was basically who, do your predictions for who will win the Academy Awards, blah, blah, blah. And they all posted their lists, and I put them into an Excel spreadsheet, and I gave them all points for however much they won. And the winner is, drum roll, please. That is the worst drum roll ever. So, and the winner is William Joseph Bone, as per the post on Facebook. So he won with, I believe it was a whopping, let me check, 19 correct calls. The ones that he missed were Best Film Editing, Best Animated Short Film, and Best Original Screenplay. And he was followed closely behind with another person that got 18 points. And the tiebreaker for that one was the Best Foreign Language Film. Otherwise, they would have been tied. So that was pretty great. It was a pretty close call. So compare the 19-point win with the crappy calls that we made on the podcast, where I got 11 points and the Cognitive Gamer got 8.5.
Hey!
All right. Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, William Joseph Bone, we will contact you through Facebook. But if you hear the podcast before that, you can contact us or whatnot and let us know what movie that was Oscar nominated would you like for us to buy for you. And
then we should send them to something completely different, like some kind of erotic movie.
No one's going to enter a contest ever again.
I would love Frozen. Oh, you want Frozen? How about this nice little Backdoor Women 8?
Or we just send him the Matt Damon Day prize.
Matt Damon Day prize.
All right, but anyway, with that, we're done. So thank you all for tuning in. You can catch me, the cool guy, on Twitter at the Right Pad,
We should send him the
WRITE.
winner of the Razzie movies. We should send him either Grown Ups 2 or
After
After
Earth.
Earth
After Earth.
or Movie 43.
You can also catch the Cognitive Gamer at Cognitive Gamer. He writes blogs, like he said, for
At
Electric Feast.
electricfeast.com. Dick Cam. Electricfeast.com. I
I j-
mostly just go to our YouTube channel and watch our stupid gaming movies, like videos,
yeah.
like SciPlay, where I play video games and talk about science. Or
Exactly.
Worth Your Time, where I talk about if this game is worth your time.
And deck profiles as well for your Hearthstone, which should be going up tomorrow.
Ooh, or deck profiles, where you get to see me play a really niche, like really cool deck, where I only use battle cries, where it summons more than one minion. I also have a couple others in there just for funsies, but that's a pretty funny battle.
Yeah. So yeah, any of those things. Also watch our outtakes, which we are also including, and they are pretty great. And a bunch of stuff. Just check out PostGrad Games. We have a ton of fantastic content for you guys. And
Subscribe.
as always, subscribe and like our Facebook page and or comment, please. We want to get to know all of you guys. And also, again, thank you all. We want to give our sincerest thank you for making us crack the top 100 on Podomatic.
Yep.
And we also want to thank you all for
High fives.
just for
High fives to everybody.
making our live stream of the Oscars great. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. So thank you all. Have a great week, and we will catch you next time when we go back to our regular schedule, and you can see all of our Netflix movies that we will be watching on Facebook. We'll let you know which one it is. So again, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.